So moved.
Second.
Okay, and let's move back to Jennifer. Please identify yourself for the record.
Jennifer Whittier, so moved.
Okay, second.
Second, Bill Billings.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries, agenda is adopted. All right, now we're moving on to an action item, the approval of the minutes of the March 14th, 2022 meeting of the MCSAB. Board members, you've received a copy of the March 14th board meeting minutes. At this time, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes from this regularly scheduled meeting of the MCSAB. And please identify yourself for the record. May I get a motion?
Bill Billingsley, I move we accept the minutes as written.
Is there a second?
Jennifer Whittier, second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. All right, moving on to the chair report. The only thing I have to report is Dr. Kamachara and I have put out an invitation, she did on our behalf, to all the charter school leaders to have I guess, spring check-in. We did this in the fall. And next week, we have meetings scheduled with Ambition Prep and with Clarksdale Collegiate, and we're in the process of rescheduling Midtown because that was scheduled on that tornado day that we're all out of here. So we're looking forward to those meetings. And that concludes my report. Now we'll move on to the executive director report.
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks to everybody for being here. I hope everybody online or on the phone can hear me okay. I'm masked up because I was sick over the weekend. I tested negative for COVID twice, but don't want to give anybody here any kind of germs. So if you have any trouble understanding me or hearing me, let me know. I'll be happy to repeat myself or clarify anything. So for my report, just first of all, welcome to our guests. We have a few guests in the building today, so welcome to all of our guests. And again, welcome to Mr. Durrett, who's our newest board member, who has been confirmed by the Senate. And Mr. Durrett, we're really, really looking forward to having you on the board and look forward to seeing you in person very soon. And if you can speak to one little vote. Okay, so just as far as my report, just a few things I wanted to bring everybody up to speed on. Mainly, I've been out of town for a week. I was in Chicago with the NACSA Leaders Program. That is a group of 9 cohort members from across the nation who are selected to participate in the leadership program. So this was our first time in person. We've been doing this for several months now, but all virtually. Our first session was planned for in person, and we had to reschedule that because of the COVID. So it was great to see everybody in person. We spent really long, intensive days working not only on leadership activities, but working on authorizer challenges and opportunities that we have as authorizers throughout the nation. Much of what we do is very similar. We operate in a similar fashion, approving and or denying applicants, and then overseeing the accountability of our schools that are operational. And we look at primarily the same types of things in terms of finances, academics, or their organizational performance. So it was really nice to be with like-minded people and to really connect with those people who are again, doing the same work on behalf of children throughout the nation. So that was great. Enjoyed every bit of that except the travels, which were a nightmare. But glad to be home safe and sound and looking forward to our next connection, which will be next month, and that one will be virtual. So as always, in your packet, you have a copy of the newsletter. And I really want to point out LaFleur Legacy has provided a clip for you to look at in the newsletter here. There's a link to that literacy clip. If you haven't had an opportunity to look at it, it's really well done. And it's just really delightful to see the things that are going on inside the school and to see the kids and really get an idea and a sense of what's happening inside the classrooms of the schools. So take time to look at that if you haven't done so already. And then the next item that you have backup material in your packet for is going to be the letters of intent. Last Friday, letters of intent for this application cycle were due. We received 11 letters of intent, and I am happy to say, y'all, that for the first time since I've been here, none of them had to be turned around for missing items, which I think speaks volumes to the amount of technical assistance that we're providing and the type of technical assistance that we're providing, either through our external provider or from the office ourselves with our toolkit. Because every time, ever since I've been here, we've had to turn them around and say, oh, you're missing this, or oh, you're missing that. And so really happy to see 11 completed letters of intent with 12 schools. So on that list, you'll see 11 names of operators, but you'll see one that has the potential for two schools. It's really exciting to see in this list that there are a variety of locations that are proposed. So for the first time, you're seeing locations such as Laurel, such as Natchez, such as Columbus, which was one last year, but this one is, they had one for Jackson last year that they're not going to propose this year. So a real variety, East Tallahatchie, North Bolivar, and different models as well. So we have one that is a model for serving students with autism, which is really exciting, an arts model, an agricultural model, just a variety of things that are different, health science, and then our first high school, which is Clarksdale. So really, really, really excited about the letters of intent and their eligibility. This afternoon at 3 o'clock, we'll have a webinar for those who are determined to be eligible and go through the application in more detail with them. And then that application will be due in several weeks, and hopefully we'll get some really, really good applicants this year. So super excited. And that ends my report for this month.
Okay, thank you. Any questions about that? Okay, all right, now we'll move on to the financial report, and Denise is on the phone.
Yes, I'm going to keep it real short since y'all have a copy of the financials in front of you. Just wanted to point out that the expenditures for this last month were only $21,000. We did have 2 claims with CSC that got paid, and one of them was to complete position total CSC. So that grant has been completed. And the last thing that I want to report on is the legislative session. The final appropriation for FY23 has now been sent to the governor. This bill contains, we're still under the IHL appropriation, and our bill contains a general fund appropriation of $300,000, which is the largest general fund appropriation we've ever received. And the special fund appropriation remains at $500,000. So in the next month or so, Dr. Commentary and I will be working on putting these dollar amounts to an FY23 budget for y'all. So that concludes my report.
Can I just say a special thank you to Denise publicly for all of her hard work on this. It takes a lot, and she has not just us as her work that she does. She's, I think, works with 17 different state agencies. So she has a lot of work to do, and she's just done a great job in making sure that we got what we asked for and then some. So we're really pleased with having the highest appropriation that we've ever received. So I think that also speaks volumes about the confidence that the legislature has in the work that we're doing. So thank you again, Denise, for your work on that.
Thank you.
My pleasure, but I also want to say that you were very instrumental in that, spending a lot of time at the Capitol.
All right, it doesn't appear there are any committee reports or requests for public comment, so we'll move on to new business. And there is an action item here to approval of Schoolworks proposal to conduct application evaluation support for the 2022 Call for Quality Schools. Dr. Conchar, will you present?
Yes, in your backup material, you will see that we received 3 proposals for this work. Jordan and I used a rubric to determine whether or not we want to make a recommendation to whom we want to make a recommendation for. We go through those individually, and then collectively we look at each one of those items against the proposal and what's in the request for quote. And our recommendation this year would be that that the board consider the approval of the proposal from Schoolworks.
Okay. Are there any questions about the proposal? No? Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the Schoolworks proposal to conduct application evaluation support 2022 Call for Quality Schools. Please identify yourself for the record.
This is Kimberly Remax from Olive Branch. I make a motion that we accept that schoolwork.
Okay. there a second?
This is Bill Billingsley, second.
Okay, any discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. All right, moving on to other business. The next meeting is scheduled for June 13th, 2022 at 1 p.m. in the boardroom located at 239 North Lamar Street, Suite 207, Jackson, Mississippi. And now we'll move on to adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Bill Billingsley, so moved.
Can I get a second?
Jennifer Whittier, second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we stand adjourned at 1:14 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all.
Was-
Thank you, everybody.
Uh-huh.